Every night at exactly 2:17 in the morning, someone entered my house. I never saw their face. I never heard them unlock the door, and somehow, they always managed to disappear before I could find them. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Then I found a photograph on my kitchen table. It was a photograph of me, sleeping. The photograph had been taken from inside my bedroom, and on the back, someone had written 4 words: "Stop looking for me." But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the timestamp: 2:17 a.m. The exact same time someone had been entering my house every night. And what I discovered later would make me question everything I knew about my family, my childhood, and even my own identity.
But before we get into the story, I want to know something. Where are you watching from? Tell me your city or country down in the comments. I genuinely love seeing how far these stories reach. And if you enjoy mysterious, emotional, suspenseful stories like this one, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story.
Now, let me take you back to the night when it all began. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 31 years old, and 6 months before everything happened, I moved into a small house on Willow Creek Drive. Looking back, I still wonder if I chose that house, or if somehow that house chose me. At the time, I was simply looking for somewhere quiet. I had spent years living in the city. My job was stressful, my relationship had recently ended, and every morning, I woke up feeling like I was living someone else's life. So when I found the house, I fell in love with it immediately. It had white walls, wooden floors, large windows, and a small backyard surrounded by a wooden fence. There was an old maple tree beside the driveway. The neighborhood was quiet, almost too quiet, but I liked that. I wanted somewhere nobody knew me, somewhere I could start again. The realtor told me the previous owners had left years ago. She didn't say much about them. I didn't ask. Why would I? I was more interested in the kitchen than the history of the people who had lived there. The first 3 weeks were perfect. I unpacked, bought furniture, decorated the living room, found a little coffee shop nearby. I even started running in the mornings. For the first time in years, I felt peaceful. Across the street lived an elderly woman named Mrs. Wilson. She was probably in her 70s. She had silver hair, glasses, and a habit of watching the neighborhood from her front porch. The first time I introduced myself, she smiled warmly. "You're Emily, right?" "Yes." She looked at the house behind me. Then she looked back at me. "You're going to like it here." I smiled. "I hope so." She hesitated. Then she said, "Most people do." At the time, I thought it was a strange thing to say. I didn't realize how strange until later. The first time I heard the footsteps was on a Tuesday. I remember because I had spent the entire day unpacking boxes. By 11 that night, I was exhausted. I took a shower, changed into pajamas, and went to bed. I fell asleep almost immediately. Then, sometime later, I opened my eyes. I didn't know why. The room was dark, the house was silent. I reached for my phone. The screen lit up. 2:17 a.m. I was about to put the phone down when I heard something. A footstep. Downstairs. I froze. Then another. Slow. Careful. Someone was walking across my living room. I sat up. I listened. Another step. I whispered, "Hello?" Silence.